Extraordinary Women in Helderberg and owner of SomaSense, a massage therapy practice in Strand. We had as a guest today Emi Guasco, who is a leadership coach, and she spoke to us about polarity management and how to deal with those issues in a business and in your personal life, which just never seem to go away. Welcome, Emi, and thank you very much.
Thanks, Erika.
How do we distinguish between what is a problem we can solve and what is a polarity we need to manage?
Okay, so a polarity really is it's an issue that's got two interdependent poles that is ongoing. And an example of this would be something like change and stability. So in life, we often have change, but we also sometimes feel that we want things to be a bit more stable. So we can't run away from change and we can't stay in the stable polarity. So we call that a polarity. So there's an interaction between those two issues, and we learn to manage them rather than saying this is a problem, change is a problem, I can't handle change. So anything that doesn't have those two interdependent poles and it's not ongoing, those are just problems that you can solve.
And so how would you go about, what is the polarity management philosophy that you use to deal with polarities?
Okay, so what you do is you look at the upsides of both of those polarities. You start off by even just defining what the polarities are that are in your life. What are the two poles? What is something that you're struggling with and you're battling to get an answer, to get a conclusion? So you would then define the two polarities, the two poles, and then you would define the upside of each of those poles and the downside.
And all poles always have an upside and
a downside. They always have an upside and a downside. So you would then work with becoming aware when you drop into the downside and say, maybe I should look at the opposite pole. What is the upside there? To try to pull myself out there. In a very simple way, coming back to the change and stability, is for example, if a leader works with change in his organization, he might say to his team, we understand that there's also good stuff in stability because it's going to give us lots of continuity and positive things, and there's also a risk in the downside of change because people might lose their job and there might be all kinds of things happening, but we also understand that the positive, the upside of change is going to give us new energy and it might give us new profitability for the organization. So recognizing the downsides and putting yourself always back to the upsides, that's how you manage the process.
It's very much a balancing act.
A balancing act, very well put.
I find it a very useful technique that you've taught us, and I think it's something that we can all use in business and in our personal lives.
Absolutely. I work very much with leaders for leadership development. That's very, very useful, but for your private, your personal life as well. And I want to give this quote which really resonates so well with me, which was by Dr. Martin Luther King, and he spoke about love and power, which is often a polarity that we struggle with. And he said, power without love is reckless and abusive, and love without power is sentimental and anemic. So for me, that really describes the polarity very well.
Thank you very, very much.
That's a pleasure.